into lobbying campaigns in order to support of the justices they want on the bench. The bill simply requires parties and amicus filers to disclose their financial connections to the justices, and it also requires amicus filers to disclose their major funders. This makes eminent sense so that the people of the United States can know who, in fact, is funding the amicus briefs and the viewpoints advanced in front of the Supreme Court.
Will the chairman yield?
No, I will not yield. In addition to which, I should like to say on a separate question that's been raised, and that is about the Republican and Democratic parties, though I don't think this is really terribly relevant to the amendment. But the fact is, it was stated by people on both sides of the aisle about the identity of the Republican and Democratic parties. Now, the fact is, the Democratic Party changed. The racist Democratic Party of the 19th century and of the early 20th century changed because of the Civil Rights Act. When the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1965, the racist Democrats reacted against that, and because Senator Goldwater opposed the Civil Rights Act, the racist Democrats became Republicans. And you can see this in the careers of people like Strom Thurmond, who began as a Democrat and ended up as a Republican, and George Wallace, the same. And the fact is that the parties changed. So Abraham Lincoln, were he alive today, would be a Democrat because the Republican Party, which started out as an anti-racist, anti-slavery party,
that's crazy,
it changed also. And today, the people who take the anti-racist view are known as Democrats. So that's just a history lesson. It's not of great importance to the worth of the amendment, but I thought I had to correct the history. And the amendment ought to be opposed because it is destructive of the purpose of the bill, which is salutary, which is to enable people to know who is funding amicus briefs and who is funding amicus briefs, on whose behalf they're filed, who are the real parties and interests. And I yield back.
Mr. Chairman.
Who else seeks? Does anyone else seek recognition?
Yes. Yes.
What purpose does the gentleman from Ohio seek recognition?
To rebut some of the crazy things you just said.
Gentlemen, strike the last word.
I do. Strike the last word.
Gentleman's recognized.
The Democrat Party sure has changed, because the Democrat Party used to believe in the First Amendment and free speech. That's the big change. I mean, think about it. Disclose your donors so we can dox them. Disclose your donors so we can cancel them. Disclose your donors, your contributors, so we can protest at their homes. That's what this, everyone knows what this is about, because we're watching it unfold as we speak. There are people at Supreme Court Justice homes protesting as we speak. Barry Weiss had a great term. Barry Weiss, not on the right, actually center left, resigned from the New York Times because she said, if you engage in wrong speak, wrong think today, the mob, the cancel culture mob will come after you. And she used a great term. She said, you will face the digital Thunderdome. That's what this amendment's about. Putting people in the Thunderdome so all the left can go after them, intimidate them. This is all of, Mr. Johnson was right. This is about intimidation. This is about chilling free speech. And it's so consistent with what we've seen from the left over the last year and a half. Just a few months ago, we sat in this room, actually it was across the way, with the Attorney General, and we found out they were targeting parents. We just sent a letter to Mr. Garland today. We had a whistleblower come forward. Over 24 cases where they have targeted moms and dads. And now you file an amicus brief, and there's some people who supported that effort. The left's going to get a hold of their names. They're going to be at their homes protesting. They're going to do exactly what the IRS did 10 years ago to conservative groups. The IRS was sending out letters to conservative groups. Do you pray at your meeting? Who are your supporters? Do you have a pastor? I mean, this is craziness. I mean, think about in 2 weeks what we've seen from the left. In just 2 weeks, this is a scary 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we learned there's a disinformation governance board formed at the Department of Homeland Security, run by Nina Jankowicz, who has all kinds of crazy ideas. Last week, there's a leak at the Supreme Court of a draft opinion, and protesters are at people's homes. And today we have a bill that says, disclose your donors. This is as scary as the gentleman from North Carolina is right on target. It is a great amendment. We should, at a minimum, adopt this to safeguard where the Democrat Party used to be, which was in support of the First Amendment, not chilling free speech, but embracing the First Amendment free speech. And I'll yield to the gentleman from North Carolina and to California.
I think the gentleman. And, it's interesting. The chairman has attempted to do this fiction about the party switching places. But again, what we've got here avoids all that because you're doing the same things.
Yep.
You did it in 1958 to the NAACP. You did it last year in California to people who are contributing to charities there. The Supreme Court both times said you are steamrolling people's First Amendment right of association. Can't do it.